This video is part of the Lighting It Up Summer Style playlist. Kate does a playlist every third Friday, and I'll tell you more about the playlist after my first project. This video contains 2 full projects, as well as a little hack that I will show you at the end. So enjoy! Our first project is a flower and shell Windchime. There's some pretty shells here that I got from Dollar Tree, as well as some leftover from previous packages. This is a floral solar light that I got from the Dollar Tree. She has that little paper in there that you don't take out until the last minute, and that's what activates the battery and gets it started working. There was a tin can there, but don't worry about that because I ended up not using it. It was too small, it was sharp, it cut me, so I went a different way with that. I'm just using a small drill bit to put a hole in the top of the shells that is big enough to put a piece of twine through. And these thinner shells are pretty easy to do. The ones that are curved on the outside tend to take a little bit longer. So this is a bucket from Dollar Tree that was in my stash. I'm going to drill 8 holes in the bottom because we are going to hang at 8 shells. And how, you ask? Well, let me show you. So I put the twine through the shell from the top and tie a knot on the inside. Then I thread the twine through the hole on the bottom and up into the bucket. I thread a bead onto the twine. Then I mark on the rope where I want to tie the bead, and the first 2 for me were really hard because I had to stick my hand down in the bucket and I had to try and do the knot, and I was barely able to hold on to it. Once you get past the second one, it's a lot easier. You just pull the string up, you let the shell hang down as you like it, just as long as they're touching. It doesn't matter if they're touching in the middle or on the edge or on the bottom or near the top. Just as long as it's touching, you're golden. So just go ahead and mark the spot with your finger and thumb, and then pull the string up, and keeping your finger and thumb in that spot, let the bead come down and tie a knot there. And it basically creates like a little spiral of hanging shells. Now I'm going to put a couple of these floral foam pieces, and I was just checking the height of the stake, and I actually end up taking the stake off, and I still have the stake, and I might put it back on. I just have not decided yet if I want that flower flat in the bucket, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I was just checking to make sure it's working, and it is, and right away, so I was happy about that. So for now, you'll see me just poking it into the floral foam, and actually don't take the stake off until I have it outside. I chose some yellowish and pinkish florals that were in my stash, something that went along with the orange of the floral, of the solar floral floral solar light, whatever you want to call it. And then to finish things off, I just I drilled 2 holes in the top there and just tied some rope on either side to hang it. jumping in with a little bit more information about the playlist. It happens every third Friday. So this month is on the 19th. There's no specific date. Kate from So Kate is the host, and this month the co-host is Jessica from The Busy Housewife. Their channel links, as well as a link to this playlist, will be in my description box below. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, second project is a solar light lighthouse. I looked at a couple of different lighthouses online and printed up a few so I could look at them while I was creating this one. I have a bucket and a terracotta pot, but you could use 2 buckets or 2 pots, however you want to do it. One has to sit on top of the other, and then the lantern part sits on top. And I was so thankful that Dollar Tree had different solar lights, because I was not looking forward to doing just a bunch of plain solar lights. And see how much that looks like at the top of a lighthouse? That's why I got it. Just going to take the handle off the pot, and I'm going to cover those little nubbies that are left with some embellishments. There's how I'm going to assemble them. But first we need to paint. Oh no, first we need to cut off that little part that the stake pops into, because we're not going to be using the stake. So I just sawed that off. Now I'm going to pull out this little yellow tab here, and we'll check and see if it works. And it does. So the bucket and the terracotta pot are going to get a combination of red and white. See, I'm trying to figure it out there. But then I also do put a little bit of blue in between. So it was kind of an organic process. This is a crimson chalk paint, and it goes on this tin bucket quite well. And it also goes on the terracotta pot quite well. So I was thankful that I had red in a chalk paint. And I didn't sand it or pre-coat it or anything. I just did the red paint right on it. And I was pretty happy with how it turned out. I decided to put that just a little strip of blue in between, just to make it interesting. And I know I should have probably painted this lantern part white and then blue to make the blue pop, but I just didn't want to paint it twice. So I took my time. This is sped up, but I painted it super slow. And I tried to keep the paintbrush down, because every time you lift it up and put it back down, you risk having a wobbly hand and paint going all over the place. So I just tried to keep the paintbrush low as possible. And then I went back. There were places where the black, you could see the black through the blue instead of the blue on the black. I put some super glue and hot glue on top of the bucket, and I put the terracotta pot on top of that. But it sits on top of there good anyway, so I'm not even sure if it's staying because of the glue or just because it fits. I put down some more super glue here and hot glue. And I don't know if this is going to stay, because it's only been like a day, so I'll have to check it tomorrow. But I'm just going to put that lantern part on there. And at first I laid it on its side to work on it, and then the lantern part just started to slide off, so I sat it back up. I wanted some embellishments, but the ones I had were too big. But I did find these little shelves on like a garland kind of thing, and little seahorses that I picked up from Dollar Tree the other day. They were on some clothespins, so I just pried them off the clothespin. So we have a little seahorse and shell decoration on either side, and then I painted some blue for windows, and you'll get a great look at this during the final reveal. The final reveal. So this is that quick hack I was telling you about. Just take one of the plain solar lights, pop it in the middle of one of your faux floral arrangements, or if you want real flowers, just put it in a bigger pot, put it in the stake in the middle, and then plant the flowers around it. So I'll be quiet and let you listen to the rest of the video. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a big thumbs up. See you soon.